Weight is back up to around 283.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with your reigning Miss Olympia, Samson Dao. So before we talk about his recent training updates, the champ released some unseen footage of him posing from this past Miss Olympia prep. And I am very sure if Samson would have released this video before the Olympia, he would have received a lot of comments that it is all filters and stuff like that. The more we look at this physique, the more we realize that the only way for Samson Dao to lose to anyone in the men's open class moving forward from this point is that if he doesn't show up in shape on the stage. We have never had a Miss Olympia like Samson Dao before. I mean, the man is as heavy as 300 pounds on the stage. Plus the fact that he is just so damn aesthetic. He has such beautiful lines with that amazing midsection. Plus look at those deep separation in his quads. The feathers. They were screaming out loud that something really special is being created for Miss Olympia this time. And shout out to Marlena, his wife, who was the one coaching him this time. So the more throwbacks we see like this one, the more respect he will get. So Samson is 38 years old, and considering the fact that he has no injuries whatsoever, it is safe to say that the man has at least 2 to 3 years of his prime, maybe even more than that, before the age factor comes into play. He has already won an Arnold, and this time he also won the ultimate prize. So basically Samson Dao has already achieved his life's goal of becoming the best bodybuilder in the world. So the question is, what if he improves on this current physique? What if the man can dig even deeper and show up with an even better condition for this upcoming Arnold? I must say, the second Arnold title, that is already loading for Samson Dao. Next up, we have an update from the mutant, Nick Walker. So he put out an entire YouTube video with his current trainer and coach, Kyle Wilkes, making it official for the very first time that Kyle is gonna be the one coaching him moving forward. So his new coach seems to be a very smart guy, and this is how great coaching careers are made. Just imagine if Dallas McCarver, may he rest in peace, if he did not give Matt Jensen a shot, because as far as I can remember, he was the first big name who trained with Matt Jensen just a few years back. Now, unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 26, and we only got to see him compete at Miss Olympia stage for only 2 years, 2015 and 2016. Now, I have got to say that man, he was destined to be Miss Olympia. So coming back to Nick Walker, who seems extremely satisfied with how things are looking, with him sitting at 283 pounds right now. Now that, I have to say, is a lot of weight for a guy who is only 5'6". But Nick Walker has been as high as 300 pounds, especially in the off-season. But this time he won't be pushing to those limits. Now you cannot help but admire Nick Walker's execution while he is working out, while he is training. It doesn't matter if it's 2 plates or 4 plates on the bar. He is just so damn precise with his range of motion. Now it would be so great if Nick Walker does more than just one show in 2025, because the fans, they have been waiting for a long time to see him compete, to see him back on the stage, especially on that Olympia stage. For all of the fans who were just so excited to see the matchup between Rafael Chickened and Chris Bumstead at this upcoming Prague, well, I have got some really bad news. Rafael Chickened just announced that Romania Pro is gonna be his last show of the year. So the reason he gave is that he doesn't want to show up with a tight physique on the stage, which I have to say doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because Prague, that is scheduled just 1 week after Romania Pro. So it isn't like he will have to diet for another few weeks or for a month per se to get to Prague. I mean, the man is already in Europe, which makes traveling not an issue at all. And the most surprising thing that Chickened said was that even if he loses in Romania, he won't be doing Prague, and he might do the Big Man Weekend, which is happening a few weeks later in December. Now I know at this point, he cannot beat a guy like Martin Fitzwater, but don't you guys think that is a bit of a cavalry move by Rafael Chickened? Is he afraid of losing this show to Chris Bumstead instead of Martin? How does he expect to show up at his all-time best in Romania? And his physique will be burnt out just in 1 week for Prague. But at the end of the day, it is Rafael's decision whether to compete or not. but there are some dream matchups that the fans wanna see, and you can give it to them. The whole bodybuilding world, they wanna see him going up against cbum, who has a similar physique, and that would have been a treat to watch for us bodybuilding fans. And people really wonder, why is cbum so likable? It's because the man is so genuine and so authentic, and he chose to do prog in the men's open bodybuilding, and he expects nothing out of it. And he did that for his fans and for the whole bodybuilding community. So next up we have a 9 days out physique update of the greatest classic physique athlete of all time, Chris Bumstead, writing his own story as he gets ready to step on the bodybuilding stage for one last time in the men's open. So chances are cbum is gonna be weighing beyond 250 pounds on the stage, and that is like 8 to 10 pounds heavier than his weight limit for classic. Now I personally think that his conditioning, that is gonna look more or less the same as it does in classic physique, and him being a bit more fuller and having more pop to his muscles, I think he might look a lot better than some of us are expecting. Hani Rembor we all know has a good eye, and he will never advise cbum to compromise on his trademark conditioning, because no matter how big he shows up on the stage, he will still be smaller than some of these other guys in the men's open, like Martin, like Akeem Williams. So his calling card is the same, bringing that insane level of detail and separation on the stage. Now I have rarely seen two guys fighting for the same spot and supporting each other at the same time. So Martin, who is the 4th best bodybuilder in the world, supporting cbum on this adventure. And although cbum says that he is doing for fun, but the man is after all a 6 times Olympia champion, and the last time he lost, that was back in 2018. So ages back. So deep inside, he will be aiming to win this show, or at least place as high as he possibly can. So Martin Fitzwater is definitely one of those guys whose pictures do not do him any justice on how hot and dry he really is. Look at the size of his waist, and combine that with his humongous quads. He creates such an awesome V-taper on the stage, plus he hits that amazing vacuum. So how much a bodybuilder weighs on the stage, that is totally irrelevant. Just consider the fact that Martin is going to be roughly 15 pounds lighter than Chris Bumstead on this year's Prague Pro stage, because the man competes in the mid to 30s, and there is just no way he compromises on his conditioning for this show, which by the way is his ticket to the Olympia 225. So Martin's Olympia debut, that turned out to be better than the likes of Nick Walker and Samson Dao, Andrew Jacked, Hunter Labrada. And those are some of the biggest names in the industry. Even those guys weren't able to place top 4 on their first try. So there will be some very high expectations for Martin Fitzwater for the Olympia next year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.